Welcome to Around Town as we start to say goodbye to the month of July and welcome in August very shortly in a matter of a few days. And my goodness, I can't believe it. Football starts practicing, the Patriots, of course, and my Michigan Wolverines. And it's just a month that the farm stands open up, the orchards, and I hate to say fall is on the horizon because they've already started back to school stuff, but it is. But today I'm really glad to have with me our Police Chief, Bradley Osgood, who's come in again, and it's such a pleasure having him here. I'm telling you, I am just so thrilled that he wants to come in and talk because there is a lot going on with the police. And sometimes you read the news or hear the news, listen to any of the news, whether it's local or worldwide, or read the paper and you think, why should I give them any support? Stuff they do. But you know something, I don't know about you, Brad, Chief, but it's terrible out there. I feel bad for the officers. I know some of the stuff that we're hearing, especially out in like Arizona or Maryland or any of those big cities, but these guys or gals, they really put their lives in our hands. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I feel so bad. Every time I go by one with his lights on, I try to slow down just a little bit to make sure they're okay because, it just scares me, because you never know what they're going to come into.
Well, yeah, thank you for having me, and thank you for that segue into that. And police work, I've been doing police work for more than 28 years, and it's a lot different today than it was 20 plus years ago.
Yeah.
And a lot has changed over the past couple of years, and there's this I don't want to say a hatred, but there's a a dislike or they question the police a lot more.
Yeah.
And so it is very, trying on the officers, not only here in Concord, but throughout the state and the country.
Yeah.
It's, but we have very good men and women here at the police department in Concord. They work very hard, and our community is really good. We have tremendous support from the community, and that goes a long way.
Yeah, the things that at least I haven't heard too much about. Well, you did it because you don't like me. I know that. You're prejudiced against me. That's why you did it. I know that. So I hope you hear that now out there. He's biased against me. That's disgusting. What in the heck is the matter with these people? And then I read this article the other day that one of the officers, I think in Concord, tried to arrest this guy, and he comes out with some of this stuff. Well, I'm going to get you and all this jazz. What in the heck is the matter with people? What would they do if they put the badge on? I just worry about you. I worry about them. I know when I dispatched all those years, I worried about my guys out there because, like you said, back years ago, it would have been 1974 when I started dispatching, and the towns that we had were small, Pittsfield, Hopkinton, all those, but even so, it scares you to think that what some of these people can do, right. And now they want body cameras on you, or no, they're taking them. There's something they want to replace, and not have body cameras, or what is it? I can't remember what it was. Or do they want body cameras?
Well, I think the the federal government there's a leaning towards having body cameras on all police officers.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons for it. There's certainly a huge cost factor. And
I'm sure.
Data retention factor.
Yeah.
But there's some the pluses to it because there's instantaneous video and audio possibly that will exonerate or tell you the whole story.
Sure.
So there's things to consider with body cameras.
And you think that some dope, some undesirable, would reach over and try to grab your gun. What in the heck is the matter with you? They're here because, in a way, you're trying to protect them from doing something stupid. Even though they're wrong, you're trying to, hey, it's, but they don't realize that. They think, oh, you're out to get me. I know that. You're out. You're out. You've been watching me. I know you're out to get me. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I have, we have 2 police officers that are out of duty right now due to people resisting arrest.
Really?
And so they're not currently working. They're on the.
But are they okay? Were they injured?
They were injured. They will be okay, but they're out of work. And when we see staffing levels decreasing, having people injured in the line of duty, doesn't help. So that's the nature of the job. It's we've had people resist arrest for decades, and
I know.
I'm sure it will continue. But as we talk today, there's 2 police officers that aren't working because of injuries related to resisting arrest.
That is terrible. And was it years ago? You would never ever think of a young person, or I don't say older people, but especially the young ones. You would never think of them challenging a police officer. Well, let's fight. Let's get out here and I'll punch you or whatever. You wouldn't do that. You're supposed to respect them. I don't get it. What do they think they are? They're going to beat you up? I don't think so. But it's just you don't know what they've got on them. They don't know what. I mean, I can remember years ago dispatching, especially in mid-June to Labor Day, especially in the hot months of July and August. It was always on the weekends, especially. You get domestics. Oh my goodness gracious, especially Friday night and Saturday nights, or the different places in the different towns that might have a bar or a club or something. And you'd always get a phone call about 11 o'clock at night. We've got a fight down here. We got 3 people that are drunk, send someone down, and it's like, and then of course, you let it go for a couple months. Then comes Thanksgiving and Christmas, and there you go again, the domestics. Well, I'm supposed to have my child at 6 o'clock at night, and here it is 6:01, and he's not here. I want you to arrest him. It's like, oh, for goodness sakes, but I don't know.
Well, it's the crime or calls for service that we experience here in Concord always pick up during the warm weather months.
Oh, yeah.
June, July, August.
Yeah.
And a lot of that could be because schools are out. Not to suggest that it's the school kids that are doing it.
Yeah.
But also during the warm weather months, people have their windows open. They have gatherings, summer gatherings. They have pools at their house. They have people come over, and there's complaints that come out of that.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily crime increases, but just our call volume to mediate different things increases during the summer.
It amazes me, and I walk into, say, Hannaford or Market Basket. When I used to work at Toll's Market, it was a small grocery store on Loudon Road, family store, and we had the beer cabinet, there were beer cases there. And I walk in now to Hannaford, and I see one whole aisle of all these different kind of beers and whatever else, and I don't get it. Back those days, we only had Schlitz and Budweiser and Miller, Narragansett, Carling, Black Label, Pabst, but Schaefer, another one. Now you've got all these. I would hate to stand there and count. So all that alcohol is just plain guzzled up. It's just really sad. But I don't know, Brad. Chief, I don't know. I just really, really don't envy you sometimes, and it's just like, boy. But I know one thing I want to make sure we talk about today is the National Night Out you got coming up on August 1st from 5 to 8:30 down at Rollins Park, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, and it says here all admission in it. I know the Insider has a big story today, and the Monitor has a small part, but it says all foods and refreshments are $1 each, and tickets for food and that can be purchased at the gazebo. free shuttle service from Runlet Middle School. Now, what else is going to go on down there? Usually you have helicopters come in or something. Then you have other exhibitors down there, vendors, like, no, I'm saying vendors, but it used to be, I know, Concord Hospital used to have something down there. There was rape and domestic violence thing, and then there was a lot of community nonprofits that would be there.
Right. So it's as you mentioned, it's August 1st, Tuesday, from 5 to about approximately 8:30. It starts to get a little dark at that time.
Yep.
Talking about the food. So at the gazebo, you can purchase tickets.
Yeah.
And each ticket is $1. And so that little ticket that you get, you can use for any food items, such as a slice of pizza, hot dog, cotton candy, snow cones, different things. All you do is, so there's no cash transaction at the food vendors. You just hand them a ticket.
Sure.
So those, go on sale immediately when we start the night. And the food does go fast. It's very difficult for us to predict how many people are going to come and eat.
Oh, yeah.
So we always, every year, we increase the amount of food that we buy. We have a very limited budget, so we don't want to be stuck with, a ton of product.
Sure.
But you mentioned the helicopter. I believe that the Black Hawk will be landing
this
year.
Is that the state police or the
This is the
National Guard?
The Guard, yes. They've come probably the last couple of years.
Really? Yeah.
It's probably the biggest attraction
I
there.
bet.
Other than when I'm there, it's the biggest attraction. So.
Yes, I'm sure you're standing there with you writing out autographs.
That's right. No, but the National Guard, they do a tremendous job. They land when everything is safe. They allow the families and the kids to go and explore the aircraft.
Oh, okay.
It's really well done by the Guard.
But you don't give them rides, though, do they?
No rides. They shut it all down once it's safe. They open up the ropes to allow the kids to go in and check out the equipment and sit inside it. It's a pretty amazing thing.
Dartmouth brought theirs down one time.
Yep, the Dart had come down one year, and that's quite a bit smaller than the Black Hawk.
Yeah.
But there'll be, the police command vehicle down there, the rescue vehicle down there. There'll be some fire apparatus. General Services brings all of their.
Oh, I know. I remember that. Yes, I wondered about that. Yeah.
There's at least one, possibly two rock climbing walls that will be down there for people to try out. But what you'll find is a lot of booths set up. There's probably 30 or 40 different booths, from either the Concord Hospital, the Crisis Center, the Red Cross, and Brain Injury Foundations. Very educational. They give out brochures and talk about their different programs. So it's a wonderful night for the community. Several thousand people will be there, and it's always well done. Officer Ryan Howe, that you probably know very well, he's done a tremendous job putting this on for the last several years, and this year, hopefully, the weather will hold out, and this will be the greatest one yet.
Well, that's good, though. Yeah, the weather really makes the difference. So we got our meet, eat, and greet tonight here on the Heights at the park there with Nevers Band, but it's true, and isn't it? Hopefully the people appreciate what you folks do out there, because it's a chance for you to come through, meet the officers, see all the different things that you do. I mean, I know the Sheriff's Department used to be over there, and then see the helicopters and walk inside the I know they used to have the big city trucks that could sit up in there or whatever, but it's not a carnival night, but more like a learning night. If they take advantage of all that you have to offer, and come away knowing that we have a darn good police department, and of course, yes, the other services, but yet, this is your night, and there's a lot to it. I know when I worked in Pittsfield, we did the National Night Out. I organized it over there for a couple of years before I left. And it went over very well. You know, we had hot dogs and all that stuff too. But you know, it's a good time for people to come out and see what goes on here. And I'm sure you had demonstrations. Now, does the state police bring their dog down?
Yeah, so some like you mentioned the Merrimack County Sheriff's Office. They're usually there. I believe they're coming back again this year. It's possible that the Bow Police Department will be there. You know, they've been there in the past. I believe they've had a canine there. The state police has been there in the past with a canine. We have our motorcycle there. The state police sometimes brings the motorcycles down. The state police sometimes will bring their explosive unit. You know, they have the robots. That, So, but you know, it depends because they get invitations probably to various national nights out throughout the state. So it depends on, you know, their resources and where they're going to go. But they've attended the Concord one for many years.
Are there many communities that are doing that here in New Hampshire now?
Well, yes. It's supposed to be on the first Tuesday of August nationally, and so most of your larger communities and some of the smaller communities will actually partner with their neighboring towns, and they'll do them. So I would suspect there's probably 12 to 20 communities that probably do it in New Hampshire. We've had therapy dogs. There's animal exhibits for the kids. In years past, they've had the strongmen competition, or they have the strongmen come down and do demonstrations. They're picking up boulders and bending steel rods and things like that. There's a DJ. There's music. It's a well-run event. It's a very family friendly, and you know, we hope you know, as many people come out.
No dunking booth, though, huh?
No dunking booth. No dunking booth. We'd have to put the sheriff in there if we.
Yeah, I'll put him in there. Scott can do that. He loves the spotlight.
But you know, we're very happy. I mean, the fire department is there. We mentioned general services, the police department, but Parks and Rec lends a lot of support.
Well, that's good though.
The public library lends a lot of support, and I think they actually have a booth there as well.
Really? Huh. Well, that's good then. So it's like an all-city night then. So that's good.
Yep. And so the parking is at Rumlet, the middle school, and we'll have people over there to help people park, and then there's shuttle buses to go, you know, down the street a little bit. Some people walk, some people take the bus.
I think where Rumlet is in relation to Rollins Park.
It's probably
go out. Oh, why don't you go
it's
out?
Like a third of a mile.
You go out. Was it Carter Street? Bow Street.
Yes.
Into that. I mean, that's okay. I was trying to picture in my mind how you would go from Rumlet to Rollins. There. That's
you get in through the backside.
Yeah. I remember that.
Well, there's no parking in the park.
No.
Because there's too many people we can't have. There's some handicap parking. But that's about it. We have, you know, vendors in and out as well. So. But couldn't ask for a better venue for it, and you know, it's knock on wood. The weather's been perfect the last several years.
I know. It makes me happy seeing the sunshine today. But I'm telling you, the weather can ruin it or whatever else. I'm telling you, everything relies on that weather. But I know it because today in the Insider, besides your story, they've got one on Christmas in July. Because it's 5 months from today is Christmas Day. And, you know, it's like whoopee-doo, but the parade, of course, will be the 18th of November, and then the tree lighting is November 24th. And I said, my goodness, it's coming. You hate to think of it, but it's not far off.
Is the tree lighting the day after Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Yes. And that's typical, right?
Yeah.
It's always the day
It's
after.
always the day. And this is the thing, Brad, is that, oh God, I'm so used to calling you Brad Chief, but in Concord, since I was born here, as I said before, and my folks always took us down to downtown Concord the day after Thanksgiving, because that was the day that they turned all the lights on the street poles, the tree, the manger, everything got turned on, and we couldn't wait to see the lights. And we'd walk up to the manger there, and of course the tree, and it was fast. We knew Christmas was coming then, but yeah, it was always the day after Christmas, and that's why I maintain that. I mean, I can remember when I was on the city council, I got booed at by a couple of the councilors because I wouldn't move it to midnight merriment. But this is Concord. This is the capital, and this is tradition. I mean, this is why it's that day. But you've just given me some ideas sitting here listening to you about the activities on your National Night Out. I may have to afterwards. I'll ask you about them. But it's good. I mean, we really worked hard, but like you, we have to rely on donations, and I'm telling you, it's very difficult because I can't afford to do it, and because of that stupid vandalism last year, we had to buy all those bulbs, get all those bulbs, over 700 bulbs, and we got to buy 20 strings with the sockets in them for the tree because they ruined them. Plus the harness that goes in between in the middle of the tree where the top and all that'll plug into. That's going to cost us over $500. So we're looking at least $1,500 possibly just to fix the repairs before I even start with trying to get activities. So it stinks, and I hope the vandals that did that enjoyed themselves, but.
Yeah, that's a shame.
I can only hope this year that it don't happen again. But anyway, but no, like on yours, right? You said Officer Howard has been the one doing that. Is that part of your community policing unit or something like that? There used to be. I remember years ago there was. I can see the redhead. Oh dear, I can see his name. I see his picture, his face, and everything. He had short red hair. And then the one that was sergeant, he became a sergeant. They both was it Casey? One of them Casey? Officer Casey? No, or something?
No, I mean, maybe you're talking about Eric Crane.
Yes, that's who I'm talking about. The redhead, yeah.
Yep.
And then the other one, I can't think of it. But anyway, they were the ones that were involved with that when it first started.
Right.
And they were really working very hard on it. So it still is that community.
Yeah, it's our community resource unit,
Yeah.
which falls under our community services division.
Yeah.
And so they're really charged with a lot of the community policing activities that we do.
That's good, though.
In September, we'll be doing we did it last year, was our first one. It was a Stuff a Cruiser event. We basically went to Hannaford, Shaw's, and Market Basket, and people would donate food for the homeless, or
really?
for basically the food pantries.
So what day do you do that?
We do it on 3 different days. We did it on a Friday evening and then on 2 Sunday mornings.
Well, would you remind me that so we can broadcast those dates?
Right. Yeah, so we work in partnership with some of the local pantries here in Concord, as well as the New Hampshire Food Bank.
Yeah.
I think we collected over 3,500 tons of food.
Wow.
in 3 days.
Yeah.
It was quite an amazing thing, and just to see the generosity of the residents of Concord was really special.
Oh yeah. So Stuff a Cruiser. Huh.
Right.
Well, who's gonna chair that one?
Lieutenant John Thomas.
Jay does, huh?
He's the one that did it last year. So I would suspect that he'll probably take the lead again this year on that.
He's always so pleasant. Like I said, you've got some guys on there. Oh, I shouldn't say no gals, but guys too. But you've got some who are just so down to earth. They're so pleasant, and really, it's nice. And that's the way it should be. I mean, it's hard when they get guff every day or something to maintain that smile or whatever. But, you know, for the most part, though, they're very friendly.
They are.
You know,
They're all.
They're not this, you know, attitude. They really are very friendly. And I know myself, I've enjoyed doing that award, you know, for the police officer there for 46 years. And, you know, it's just, I don't know, it makes me proud to stand here and give that, because I think of the ones through the years who are still alive who've gotten that. But, you know, they do. I mean, they take a lot of guff out there, and it's sad. Like I said, when I hear the news, and oh gosh, it makes me sick to see this stuff. You know, luckily Concord has not had any, knock on wood, fatalities or whatever, but still, you know, you don't know what they're facing.
No, we have a tremendous group of police officers. You know, they don't take things personally. You know, if they're getting, you know, that gruff from people, they don't take it personally. You know, and by and large, police officers have a tremendous sense of humor. So they're able to, you know, talk about it and, you know, laugh about it after the fact.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
So I mean, we have a, you know, very, very fortunate. I've always been fortunate in the Concord Police Department to have, you know, be around very, very positive and tremendous people.
Well, I think a lot of it starts with you, and I don't care, because you have got such a super good attitude. I mean it, Brian. You are just. I mean, I can remember back years ago, and I won't name names, but there was a couple of chiefs back years ago that were they were stern. They wouldn't give you a smile unless you were giving them something. I mean, they weren't friendly at all. And it just was so, this is when they were down at the old department, more so than up at the new one, but it just was not, and they had some officers the same way. I can remember one in particular. Oh, he was out to get you no matter what. You know, it's like he kept a scorebook. You know, well, I gotta get another one today. I'm down a couple of stops, you know, so we gotta get this going. Or how many stops do you have? Well, I have 10. Well, I gotta catch up to you, or whatever. And I don't see that now. It just seems so different. You know?
Yeah, I think styles of policing have changed. I think the philosophy of community policing is, you know, preached more and more, especially in New Hampshire. You know, the only way to really accomplish your mission is to work with people.
That's right.
You know, you have to work with the community, and so you have to have a different style of policing.
Yeah.
And so that's what we teach, and we try to instill in young officers is this community policing philosophy. So, you know, in today's era, that's going to work. You know, back in the 70s and the 60s,
I know.
it was a different style.
Oh, yes,
you know.
that was, yeah.
Could have been effective for some.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not as effective today.
No.
With this generation.
Yeah, I know it. Well, we're coming to a close of Around Town, and it's good to have you on again, and you're welcome anytime, and we'll get you on again before the Stuffer Cruiser things, if we can get that out there. I didn't even know about that last year. If I did, I forgot about it. But good luck with National Night Out.
Thank you.
August 1st from 5 to 8:30. And come on down to Rollins Park on Broadway, or park your car over at Walnut and take the shuttle bus over and see all what they have to offer. You won't go away disappointed, I can guarantee it. I'm your host, Dick Patten. Thanks again for joining us with Chief Brad Osgood, and we will see you all soon on Around Town.